Hello guys, welcome back to the Arverei channel. As you guys know, Efootball recently released the English Player of the Season's players. So today we're going to rank them from S to D tier. Let's see what the rankings are. Let's go. Okay guys, so first up we have Bruno Fernandes. I'm going to put him, look, I'm not going to lie, he's a whole player, but he is literally, I'm looking at it now, he's 0 stats in 90s. I'm going to have to put him B tier purely because of that. He does have decent passing, 88, 87 low, like 88, 87 passing, but he has no stats in the 90s. He may be a whole player, but he's also very slow. 84 speed is way too slow, especially for meta. Now we are comparing these against other player of the weeks, but even as a player of the week, no stats in the 90s and a whole player, you can't have that. Box to box, maybe you could have that, but whole players, you have to have at least a few stats in the 90s. Next we have Ruben Diaz. He's an S tier. I've personally used him in eFootball League and in events. All his defending are above 92, 92 physical contact, 85 speed, and he has 83 heading. He's a destroyer, which is a little bit, unfortunate, but all of his stats, all the stats that matter are in the 90s, and he has 72 plus pass, so he's actually decent at passing. Next we have Kanate. I think in terms of player of the weeks, he has to go up here as well, just because, again, all his defensive stats are in the 90s, but he's definitely lower than Ruben Diaz because, unfortunately, his stats aren't as high, but Kanate is pretty good as well. 89 speed, 91 physical contact. He just doesn't have as good as passing or defending as Ruben Diaz. Then we have probably the best striker in the Prem this past year because Haaland was injured. We have Alexander Isak. He's going to go A rated. The problem with him, right? He does have basically 90 speed, 90 excel. And he has 89 finishing, and he has pretty high dribbling. So he's goal poacher, so he's actually meta. He fits into the meta. But there are definitely better strikers that, especially player of the weeks, that have come out, and I'm sure will come out when they release La Liga team of the seasons. So I'm gonna put him here for now. But he does have very good stats. So he is actually pretty meta if you are gonna use him compared to other players. Next we have Thomas Partey. I don't know how he got a player of the season, to be honest. I would think that Rice would be a better player of the season. Now, again, he's kind of in a similar sense as Bruno Fernandes. The only stats he has in 90s are kicking power and stamina at 90 and 91. Box to box, defensive mid. I've also used him in eFootball League and in the events. He's okay. He doesn't really his leg coverage is pretty decent, but I didn't really like him all that much. He didn't really fit into the ebb and flow of the game, unfortunately, and his defensive stats are a little bit low with all of them below 90. So I think he has to go here. Definitely not CD, but he's definitely not in A or above because this is players that you could definitely use in meta. Next we have Branthwaite. Okay, in my opinion, Jared Branthwaite is probably also up here, which I know is a little bit confusing because he actually has better defensive stats than Kanate. 85 speed. The only problem is he does less heading, but his passing is actually better. I don't know. These three are all very similar. I'm not gonna lie. You could use any of these three. He is a build-up, which is a plus in my opinion. The only problem with him is he has 65 balance, so his balance is a little bit low, which is why I'm putting him below the other two, because the other two have, I believe, better balance. Next, we have possibly the most controversial player of the season, Aaron Ramsdale from Southampton, who literally came in last place. How on God he has to go C. Look, his stats are very good. All 90 plus goalkeeper stats, okay? The problem is he has 67 jump, 73 kicking power, but 67 jump as 188 is not good. His player ID, guys. When this goalkeeper rushes out, whether the ball's at the they do a through ball, the ball's inside the 18, he will still kick it away instead of just picking it up. So for that reason alone, I could put him in D tier, but because of his stats, I'm gonna put him here. But his his movement is so bad, I can't even believe the amount of goals that were shot right at him and he just dodged. It's actually embarrassing. Next we have Cunha, who has gone to Manchester United, so I'm gonna put him. A tier as well. 90 speed, 90 kicking power, basically 90 excel. All 90s dribbling, 86 pass, 85 finishing, and he is a creative playmaker, so below 90 pass is a little bit disappointing, but I think the rest of his stuff, and he has 85 balance, The rest of his stats kind of lift him up to be in this A tier, despite him not having all the best stats. But he's definitely, I've used him again. He's cooked for me in divisions as well, and definitely in events. Any of these players will cook for you in events, by the way, but divisions is a little much more difficult, especially when you're playing like Hullet and right guard and stuff. We have Mbumo. I didn't actually use this player. This is one of the first players on this list I haven't used, so I can't fully say how good he is. But looking at his stats, I'm going to put him B tier as well. He's kind of an average winger, guys. Very fast. Dribbling is below 90, so a little bit disappointing. 85 finishing, 80 pass though. So I'm going to put him B tier. He's kind of just average. Nothing special. Classic prolific winger as well. Especially for, he's a classic. This is like, his build is a classic player of the week build. Next we have Cucurella. I'm going to put him up here, to be honest, which I know is a little bit interesting, but all 80 stats defensively, offensive fullback, 90 speed, 90 excel, 88 crossing, 86 pass, and he basically has all 80 dribbling. And he actually has decent bounce, 84 bounce, and which is a little bit low, but he also has 80 curl, so he kind of fits this more meta player of the week. He's definitely above the average. Like, he has a lot of decent stats. They may not be in the 90s, but they're much higher than the average would be for player of the week. Next, we have Liam Delap. Again, I kind of struggle. I struggle to put him into B tier. He's definitely above Ramsdale, my God. Because he literally has no stats in the 90s. He's 88 finishing, 85 offensive awareness. The speed is good, kicking power is good, physical, like all the stuff is on the verge of being this B8, A to B tier to even C tier. But it's all, like, he has no stats in the 90s. He reaches no thresholds at all. And because he reaches no thresholds, I kind of have to put him down here. Especially as a center forward, you have to have, like, at least a few of the attacking stats in the 90s. Next, we have Brennan Johnson. I'm not going to lie, guys. This might be a little bit of a controversial take for me. I'm going to put him in A tier, above Cucurella. Actually, I've actually used him. I used him a decent bit. We played 6 games with him. I think he got like 4 goals, 2 assists or something, or 4 assists. Like, he actually 2 goals, 4 assists. He actually hooked. He only has 76 crossing, but his crossing is unbelievable. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's like perfect crossing, despite him only having 76 crossing. Again, very fast. Dribbles are basically tight possessions, not in the 90s, and he has 83 finishing. So stat-wise, he should probably be in this tier, or even this tier, but his player ID saves him. It's kind of like Ramsdale. Ramsdale should be up here, based on stats, but his player ID does him in so badly. Whereas Brennan Johnson is quite the opposite. Next, we have Joao Pedro, deep lying forward. Yeah, get in the bin, buddy. I'm sorry. 85 finishing as a center forward with only he has basically 90 dribbling, and that's it. Everything else is below. So he's kind of like Liam Delap, but he has actually really worse finishing, and deep lying forwards are very unmeta, so he'll never really work in an actual game. Unfortunately, he looks pretty. I would use him, but again, Morgan Rogers is kind of similar. I'm gonna put him here. No stats in the 90s. Actually, balance he has in the 90s. I'm gonna put him here actually, because he kind of he has 89, 89, 89, and ball control, dribbling, and tight possession, and then 88 speed, 88 excel, 90 balance actually saves him, I think. And he's a whole player, so that speed kind of helps. The balance definitely helps. He definitely can't be an A tier though, unfortunately. Daniel Munoz, D tier as well. He can play left back or right back, right mid, right forward. The problem is the dribbling is below 80, passing is below 85, heading, physical contacts below 80. The only stats he has above 90 are stamina, speed, excel, and defensive engagement, aggression, and then he has 73 and 77. So, and he's a box-to-box, playing on the wing does not really work a lot, so I'm just going to put him in D tier. I don't think you wouldn't use him anyways. Chris Wood, I'm going to put him in B tier as well. Guys, I'm not going to lie, Chris Wood actually cooked for me. So if you use him in the right formation, like a cross spamming or like a target man sort of thing, where you just pass him the ball, he holds it up, or you pass it and he taps it in, very good. But he's too slow. Like 75 excel is kind of slow, 62 balance is bad. But he has good offensive awareness, good finishing, good heading, good physical contact, and actually pretty decent jump, 88 jump for someone who's that tall. So if you use him in the right formation, he can probably go A tier. But as an average player, if you're not going to use him in the like cross spamming or just hold up play formation, he has to go in B tier, unfortunately. Next we have Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I'm going to put him there. I know he's a defensive fullback, but he doesn't have enough. His aggression and defensive awareness do not hit the 90 threshold. And although he's very fast and has very good physical contact, I'm gonna have to put him a little bit lower because he doesn't reach the critical. I'm gonna put him at the top of C tier. Could go bottom of B, but he doesn't reach the minimum thresholds for defensive. Whereas all these other players that were center backs all had 90 stats. He doesn't have all 90 stats, even though he's a defensive fullback. So that kind of takes him out of the game. Next we have Kluivert, B tier as well. I'm actually gonna, yeah, we'll put him B tier. Kluivert's hard because he has very good speed, very good kick power, 90 balance, 90 dribbling, 86 low pass. What I've just found with him is that he seems to get bodied off the ball despite having 77 physical contact. Now maybe that's because he's only 172 centimeters tall, but he seems to get bodied off the ball a little bit too easily for my liking. But I think he is a very solid player in terms of stats, and his player ID isn't bad. I just think the physical contact of eFootball doesn't allow him to reach his full potential, in my personal opinion. We have Alex Iwobi, left mid. He is a creative playmaker. Yeah, he has to go in D tier as well. Creative playmaker with 82 pass. Cunha had 86, so he's above the 85 threshold. 82 pass. Yeah, that in itself takes him out, especially as a creative playmaker. You have to have that at least 85 pass, especially for a player of the week. And then we have another creative playmaker who's an attacking mid. I'm going to put him in C tier because he does 84 passing, 90 dribbles, 90 speed, 90 excel. The problem is he only has 72 finishing, so I'd play him as a center mid, not an attacking mid. But I would definitely put him, I put him right behind Wan-Bissaka. But that is basically the rankings, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and please subscribe. And go spin for these players. Like these 3 center backs and all these players in S and A tier. Bro, they are cookers. So go and spin for them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you next one. Peace.